Ecclesia viventis Dei, columna et firmamentum, veritatis fundamentum, stat in aeternum.
Ab Apostolis et Seprimus, Patris Sancti custodierus, vox una per saecula, nunquam mutuis. Columna veritatis, firmamentum gloriae, Petra in concussa stat, in aeternum, in aeternum. Firmament of glory, firmament of glory, firmament of glory, forever, forever.
Columna et firmamentum,
Veritatis
in
columna et firmamentum, veritatis in aeternum.
And we are live, everybody. How y'all doing, faithful? Hope y'all are having a tremendous one. We are thrilled and we're pumped, man, to be here, ready to rock and roll, audience. How y'all doing? How is everybody doing tonight, everybody? The man, the myth, the legend, James Tay. How you doing, brother? Thank you. Thank you, brother, for announcing our Patreon. You rock, my friend. Thank you so much, brother. Very, very kind to you, my friend. And for those that are new members, you gotta send the message. You gotta send the message to the new members. Audience, how y'all doing? Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Where are y'all tuning in from? What are you all enjoying to drink? I want to give a shout out to all of you all. Thank you so much for your support. Jake Casillas, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you, my friend. Your support allows us to do what we're doing here. We wouldn't be able to do what we're doing without your support. Thank you so much, Jake. God bless you, brother. And AB, the man, the myth, the legend, says, God bless family. How you doing, brother? How's the little one? Is the little one doing? Keeping you up late at night, man? You stayed up all night with the little one, man? Wrestling with the little one, staying up. Yeah, we got Mariology later, guys. You guys pumped for that? Boy, am I beyond thrilled and pumped for that. I mean, I've been working on all the slides, and now we're going to have quizzes afterwards. Daniel recommended it. So now we're going to have quizzes after. I love that, man. I love that, man. All good but nocturnal. No, I know that. I know that. There's no doubt about that. I know that, brother AB. I love it, man. AB, the man of the hour, the man who has Christie's head spinning, man. His head is spinning. The guy's so upset, man, after the number you did on him. Congrats yet again, brother. But, you know, enjoying that victory lap, man. Enjoy the victory lap, brother. How you doing, faithful? We are going to be here Let me put the timer on. We won't have time to. So we'll be taking your questions, audience. We won't have time to put the link because in an hour and 40 minutes, put the timer. An hour and 40 minutes. Let me see. We're going to be going to dogmatics on Mariology. We have about 2 hours. We have about 2 hours. So let's rock and roll it. We're going to begin with prayer, as we should always begin with prayer. I should get that outline pretty soon because we've been working on the Mariology stuff, then the patristics on Mariology. So we should be done with that hopefully in maybe about a week or so. Hopefully by the grace of God in about a week or so. How you doing, Christianity freak? How you doing, brother? Let's begin with prayer from the tremendous brother, Saint Francis Babytoe. We'll begin with prayer, faithful, staring at ants. What keeps some from gazing upon the beauty of God and his love in the world? So many people are focused on the small things of daily life that they forget to see God in sacred silence. How can one breathe if they don't make the effort to inhale? How can one do if they do not make the effort? No matter what we are going through, we must make time for sacred silence, or we will not have unity with the sacred heart of Jesus. Brother Juniper, help us to be simple in faith, so we may have all of Jesus. Humble Brother Joseph of Cupertino, help us to love sacred silence. Little Brother Francis, help us to be poor, so that we can adore Jesus with our whole being. The Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. Faithful, how are you all doing tonight? What are you all enjoying? What are you all enjoying to drink tonight, man? Is it a diet soda? Is it a nice coffee? Is it a regular coffee? What are you enjoying? Maybe you're enjoying a Dr. Pepper Zero Cream Soda. Earlier today, somebody told me, man, I got to try that, William. You got to try it, man. You got to try it. You got to try it, man. I want to give all of y'all a shout out. How y'all doing tonight? Y'all having a good one? I don't want to admit what I'm drinking. I wonder. I wonder, man. Guys, we're going to take Jordan Maxwell to task. We've done it already before. We're going to do it again. Why are we doing it again? It's Quacko Views. And we were told the last time I encountered somebody that says, hold on, dude. I was told, and it wasn't Rosarium. I think it was a fan of his work. By the way, Rosarium, maybe the Rosarium saw somebody say that. Maybe that's what prompted him to tell me, get the firsthand quote stuff. And I've got them in slides, which I'll share after. But maybe he saw that from a post made by somebody where they're like, well, give us the actual quotes of what he says. So we did that. We spent a lot of time gathering the stuff so that people don't think that hey, you're making it up. Nobody can be really this crazy. I'm not lying to you. I imagine people are thinking that, faithful. I imagine people have on their mind this. Nobody can be this crazy. There's no way that he really says this stuff. So we are coming with the receipts. The man, the goated Rosarium, goated moderator and member, says, and we are live. You know it already, man. You know the line. I'm used to doing it in the morning. And I do it here as well. Although I do it a bunch in the morning, right? Every time we return from a break, I do it over and over. Don't be haters, guys. Don't be haters, man. Don't be haters, man. What a bunch of haters you guys are, man. What a bunch of haters, man. I talked to Fearless Truth. I got some questions on some things. If you want for fun, sure, yeah. By the way, audience, hope you all are having fun. I hope you all are going to enjoy this. Oh, Lena Molina, the goated one. Not on the phones today, so you'll be able to enjoy Mariology as well. Cool deal. You'll be able to enjoy Mariology as well. Who is Jordan Maxwell? So here's let me open up my notes. Who is Jordan Maxwell? For people wondering, who is he? Hey, look at that, man. God bless. Pray I can beat my Oreo Thins addiction. Jimmy, first off, let me say thank you for the support, my friend. First, let me thank you for the support. Faithful, I want to be clear. Those that become members of the channel, that supports the channel a ton. That's why people that have gifted memberships before, you all not only help people come to the faith, learn about the faith, You help us as well. You help our ministry, which is a ministry that is run by myself and a priest. Your support helps us a ton. Thank you, faithful. But those Oreo thins aren't bad. They're like real thin, brother. I mean, they're not. They don't have a lot of calories, right? Let me see. Calories in Oreo thins. They don't have a lot of calories, brother. That isn't bad. I think one box has. Ooh, never mind. 6 servings per container. Ouch. But isn't that like a big one? Uh-oh, never mind. I take it back, brother. Don't eat those, man. I take it back. I thought those were like, wow, they can have a lot of servings per container. Don't eat them, brother. No, don't eat them, man. I didn't know, man. I'm just looking at them online. I've never had them before. My goodness. I tend to avoid all table sugar unless I'm having like a cheat day. I'll have like pizza, I'll have cake and what have you. But other than a cheat day, I just don't touch table sugar. I just don't touch it. Yeah. My blood sugar numbers are perfect. My bloods are perfect. I just don't, I avoid it 100%. Just don't touch it at all. Not even for a little tiny snack. If I'm going to have a snack, I'll have a sugar-free chocolate bar or those sugar-free candies that don't cause a spike in your sugar, in your insulin. Uh, I didn't know, man. Try the alternatives, brother. There are sugar-free ones, and I know Walmart has them. If your local grocery doesn't have them, I know Walmart has them, Jimmy. I know that, man. Yeah, man. Oreo thins. I bet they're good though, man. Especially in a big old man. I don't want to get you even more addicted, man. Especially in a big old glass of milk, man. I don't want to get you more addicted, man. There you go. Steak and eggs. I don't eat fruit. I'm just not a big fan of fruit. Yeah, I don't eat it. Steak and eggs, vegetables, fish. Yeah, I just don't eat I don't eat I'm not a fan of fruit. You're gonna think I'm crazy, brother. You're gonna think I am nuts, man. You're gonna think I'm nuts. That's a great question, Christianity Freak. We're gonna get to it in a moment. That's a great question. And audience, we're taking any and all of your questions, any and all questions, because today we're here for 2 hours and then we hop in a skip. I love nuts, so I do. I love pecans. I love peanuts. I love almonds. Uh, I see no interest in fruit. Yeah, I see no interest in fruit at all. Yeah, I mean, too high in sugar. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna let you down. You guys are gonna think William's a real weirdo. I just don't like it. Too much sugar in fruit. So I just don't. Yeah. So who is Jordan Maxwell, guys? Sorry, guys. He was an American lecturer. He died 4 years ago. He's not alive anymore. He was a lecturer. He described himself as a self-independent researcher. Now, he was best known for his work on astrotheology, occult symbolism, comparative religion, secret societies, and yes, conspiracy theories. And he said that his research into the subjects began in 1959 and later served about 3.5 years as the religious editor of the Truth Seeker. So if you guys are wondering where a lot of your Protestant friends might get their loony views on the Catholic Church or about Christianity in general, maybe you're thinking, where did they get these loony views? Well, they may have gotten it from Jordan Maxwell. Yeah. By the way, he was not an academic historian. He was not a biblical scholar. He was not a classicist. He was not a trained philologist. He didn't know the languages at all, yet he pretended to be an expert. He was a fraud. He was a fraud. And by the way, earlier today, somebody got in touch with me, and I'm not going to say who. They may be watching right now, trying to set up a debate against somebody who spreads virtually all the lies that Maxwell spreads. And I was so excited. I'm like, let's get the debate done right away. Let's get the debate done right away. And eventually the guy who propounds virtually all this lunacy of Maxwell, he backed out. He backed out. I said, we can debate, pick the topic you want to debate, we'll do it. Virtually any of the loony, quacky theories that you hold to, come and attack Catholicism, we'll get it done. And he pulled out. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it. According to him, the reason was, well, Catholicism's just not worth it. It isn't worth even bothering wasting my time on. Oh yeah, whatever. Sure. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm sure that that's the reason why you pulled out. So before we refute Jordan Maxwell, we've got to establish what he taught. Okay. He actually says Jesus was not a historical man. I'm not even kidding. In the recorded lecture, and we're here with the receipts, faithful, we're here with the receipts. In the recorded lecture, why your church doesn't want you to know about astrotheology, at the 39, right around the 39-minute, 55-second mark, Maxwell says, he says, Jesus is a metaphor, a symbolic metaphor. But he goes even further. At around the 45-minute mark, he explicitly says, we're not talking about an actual man who lived. He then goes on to extending his skepticism to the Old Testament. He denies the existence of Abraham, denies the existence of Isaac, Jacob, Solomon, David. So there's no ambiguity here. Maxwell he's not just saying, well, Jesus can symbolize spiritual illumination. No, he denies that the gospel Jesus represents a real historical man. Now you compare Maxwell with sources that are extraordinarily close to the origins of the faith. St. Paul writes in Galatians 1:19, I saw none of the other apostles except James, the Lord's brother. And Josephus also describes James as the brother of Jesus, who was called Christ. Tacitus reports that Christ, suffered execution under Pontius Pilate during the reign of Tiberius. And then what does the great St. Ignatius of Antioch write? Around the year 107, he says Christ was truly crucified and died. So you can refute Maxwell just by looking in early history. By looking even at enemies of the faith, you can refute him. You don't need to break your head. You don't need to do a lot of deep theological work to refute the lunacy we find in Maxwell. You don't need to do it. You don't. It's low level. It is really low level. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad. And yes, we're going to look at more. Don't worry, audience. We're going to look at more. We're barely getting. Yeah, Gary 2.0, you got it, man. We're barely getting started, faithful. We're barely getting started. You're probably going to be shocked. Actually, probably not. You're definitely going to be shocked. We want to move it from probability to definite. You're going to be shocked at what we're going to uncover. And audience, along the way, if you have questions, do not hesitate to ask them. Christianity 23 Freak, thank you for the support, legend. William, what did you think of, you mean Montanus, brother? Montanus convulsing according to Eusebius. I thought it was creepy. And yeah, you are right. Seems to me that Eusebius was the source. But interestingly enough, it's probably earlier than Eusebius, because Eusebius seems to be preserving a teaching that predates him. So that's pretty early. So that was pretty good. I don't think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty creepy. I don't think it's good. I think it's pretty creepy. Yeah, most definitely don't think it's good. Lena Molina says he doesn't know who he is, but he's heard of his lunacy. A lot of people take the lunacy from Jordan Maxwell. A lot of the stuff that you're going to hear has been taken from him. In the modern day, in terms of conspiracy theories, pagan copycat claims, and a lot of stuff, you're going to find that he was the origin. He originated it. Forgive me. So Christianity Freak, I think that Eusebius was known for being by the way, Christianity Freak, thank you for the support, legend. I think that Eusebius was being a meticulous church historian. I want to say that. Even though he's not venerated as an early church father, he was being a meticulous church historian. Now, with him being as a meticulous church historian, I think that his information likely comes from earlier sources. We know that because what does he preserve? Well, he also preserves St. Hegesippus, right? And other writings that history has lost. They're preserved in Eusebius, who was an early church chronicler. So is it fair to say that Montanus really did convulse and that it really was creepy, and he claimed to get revelation as he convulsed and he spasmed. Yes, we can say that. Do I think that he really did get revelation? No, I don't. I don't know why he convulsed. Maybe he was on a kind of drug back then. I don't know. I have no clue. But I don't believe he was getting real revelation. And I think he was mentally disturbed. And of course, I know that he was a false prophet. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we know. And remember that Montanus was uber heretical, denied church authority. But not only did he deny church authority, he denied essentially the efficacy of the sacraments. So Montanus was a well-rounded heretic, was a well-rounded heretic. Sadly, that's the reality of what we're looking at. So Jordan Maxwell, man, Jordan Maxwell, it's very easy to refute him, very easy. He denies, remember, he denies that Jesus was a historical man. Wild, wild, guys. To deny that our Lord was a real historical man, I mean, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say to you guys. I have no idea what to say, other than we're clearly dealing with absolute lunacy. Other than that, we are clearly dealing with absolute lunacy. Yep. Total quackadoodle, man. Quackadoodle audience. Audience, have you all had any of you all ever heard of him? Had any of you all ever heard of him? Bum, bum, bum. You know what I did forget to do, guys? Let me do it right now. Mea culpa, my bad. I had forgotten to get the link to tonight's Mariology to Father. I got it to him now, guys. I got it to him now, man. Yeah, I don't want to get put in a headlock, man. I don't want to get put in a wrestling headlock, guys. I don't want to get put in a wrestling headlock, man. I don't want that to happen, man. Okay. Watch a couple of his videos when I was into conspiracy theories. Okay, so it's widespread then, the knowledge of who he is. In Maxwell's own words, Jesus is a metaphor for the sun. Oh, look at that. He's a metaphor for the sun. Now, we don't need to speculate about Maxwell's position. In his LA Awake and his, in his LA Awake and Aware conference, Maxwell says, and I'm going to and I quoted him. I got it right here. I quoted him, guys. For people to say, William, you better get me the firsthand information. You better get it for me. I got it for you, guys and gals. I got it for you. Got it for you. Jesus represents in the story of a symbol. It's a metaphor, and Jesus is a metaphor for the sun. He'll then say Christianity is sun worship based on astrology. Yeah. It's based on astrology. And then he's going to say it is God's Son, S-U-N, and or Son, S-O-N, and he's the light of the world. Look at all the wild conclusions that he's jumping to. Look at all the wild conclusions he jumps to. Then he will he'll call them his 12 helpers. The 12 apostles, apparently, according to him, are the 12 signs of the zodiac, the 12 months of the year. Now, I can see how somebody could fall into this kind of a rabbit hole and say, oh my goodness, all of this makes sense. Maybe somebody that is not well read. I can see that occurring. I can. And of the bodily resurrection, what does he say? Maxwell says Christ is called the risen Savior because the physical sun rises every morning around 5:30 a.m. I'm not even joking, guys. I'm not even kidding around. I'm not even joking. He then says that the Christian religion is basically astrology and sun worship. Basically, astrology and sun worship is what he says. So it's total lunacy. Now, I want to be clear, audience, because as we compiled everything, these are not claims that are merely attributed to Maxwell by people that may hate him. Maybe they don't like him. No. They are his own recorded words. Now, I want you to examine the methodology. We're going to examine the methodology, okay? Examine the methodology. Jesus is a light. Sun is light. So Jesus is the sun, S-U-N. Jesus had 12 apostles. The zodiac has 12 signs. Therefore, the apostles are the zodiac. Jesus rises, the sun rises. So the resurrection is sunrise. Is all of that real historical demonstration? I'm asking you guys. What do you think? Is that real historical demonstration? What do you think? I find it to be lunacy. No, it is not real historical demonstration. We can call it association, but our Lord himself tells us what the 12 signify. Let me show you what he tells us. Let me show you. Let me show you. Audience, how y'all doing today? God bless you all, faithful. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your tremendous support, faithful. You all ensure that we are able to do deep dives like this. You guys are great, man. Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 19, verse 28. You who have followed me will also sit on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Then Luke, the Gospel of St. Luke, chapter 22, 30, repeats it. So, very clearly, Maxwell doesn't know what he's talking about. He has no idea. Maxwell will say that the 12 apostles mean the 12 zodiac signs. Jesus will say the 12 correspond to the 12 tribes of Israel. Who are you going to go with? Who should be the arbiter of truth? Who is the one that should interpret first century Jewish Christianity? Well, I think it's those that would have been around at that time, right? Would it have been those around at that time, or Jordan Maxwell, who knew virtually nothing of the languages or of theology, was a complete hack? I think you know the answer. Faithful, I think you all know the answer. We want to examine his sun, S-U-N-S-O-N, word game, and we're going to see how this brutally collapses in the Greek. We looked at it before, but we want to return to it again. We had looked at it before, but we want to return to it again. Yeah. We had looked at it before, and we want to return to it again. All right, let's check it out. The sun word game collapses in Greek. Over and over, Maxwell will repeatedly say the sun, S-U-N-S-O-N argument. In his L.A. Awake and Aware presentation, he explicitly says about the word sun, S-O-N and S-U-N. He is explicit. And what does he argue for? I mean, at this point, I don't even know what to say, guys. This is embarrassing. You know, I want to stop and say this is really embarrassing, guys. He argues from their interchangeability to Christian sun worship. How? How on earth? And then in another recorded lecture, he says that Christianity is sun worship because Jesus is God's son, S-O-N, and the sun is the light of the world. But there's one gigantic problem. There's one enormous problem. What is that? Can anyone tell me? I want to see who can tell me. Let me pause for a moment. In another lecture of his, I want to see who can tell me. He says Christianity is sun worship because Jesus is God's son, S-O-N, and the sun is the light of the world. What is the gigantic problem? There you go. There you go. The New Testament wasn't written in English. The Greek word for son, right here. Let me make it bigger so you guys don't have to see my hideous bald head. The Greek word for son is huios. The Greek, that's son, S-O-N. Huios. The Greek word, let me say it again, guys. Let me make it crystal clear. Let me make it beyond crystal clear. The Greek word for son is the Greek word huios, right? The Greek word for, and that's the Greek word for son as in S-O-N, child, is huios. That's one Greek word, right? That's one Greek word. Then the Greek word for son, S-U-N, is helios. Helios. They aren't homophones. They aren't interchangeable. And Jesus' Greek name is Iesus. 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 So what Maxwell does, by the way, Maxwell's embarrassing. He's an embarrassment. Maxwell will then take a coincidence produced by the history of the English language, not even the Greek that the New Testament was written in, and he'll project it backwards onto a religion whose documents were written 15 centuries before modern English. I don't even know what to say. 15 centuries before modern English. Think about this. St. Paul preached Christ in Greek, Christos. St. Ignatius wrote about Christ in Greek, Christos. St. Justin the Martyr wrote about Christ in Greek, Christos. St. Irenaeus of Lyon wrote about Christ in Greek, Christos. The early Christians weren't making a secret pun between English spellings S-U-N and S-O-N. Those spellings didn't exist. In what languages does Christianity flourish in? Christianity was able to flourish in Greek, in Latin, in Syriac, in Coptic, in Armenian, in other languages. There's no doubt about that. In other linguistic worlds where the pun just doesn't work. It might work in modern day English, but the Bible wasn't written in modern English. I mean, you don't have St. Paul hanging around reading Victorian English. You don't have our Lord hanging around reading or speaking aloud in American English. This is crazy. This is wild. So in order for the secret code of Maxwell's to work, in order for Maxwell's secret code to work, you need English. In order for his secret code to work, you need English. That's it right there. No way, James. You have a meeting. Brother, you always got a meeting, man. No way, man. No way, brother. That's a bummer, brother. That's a bummer. Man, I was hoping you'd be there, man. But you know what might be good, because you would probably share some images of me looking hilarious. So that might be good that you won't be there. That might be good, man. That might be good, man. That might be good, man. That might be a positive thing for me, man. That might be positive for William. Teenage girl levels of writing, right? Alexander, you got it. You got it on point. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt. By the way, audience, we will have our silent keyboard for our Mariology class, our dogmatics on Mariology. I know some of you say, well, I like the clickety-clackety keyboard. We'll use that one maybe for the radio show tomorrow morning. I think Father Kappas would throw a rock in my head if I used the loud clickety-clack keyboard for our class tonight, Matt. The goated, the tremendous Lino Molina, brother. Thank you for your support, hero. The amazing Lino Molina. I love this, man. Let's talk about this for a bit. Thank you for the support, brother. And by the way, about Satanists and about New Agers, we've got a very special guest coming onto the show very soon. I'll announce it already. We have Father Dan Rahill. He's going to be coming onto the show soon. He'll be on the show. We have him scheduled for 3 times. That's going to be 2 times, actually. And hopefully a third time. Let me just double check if I've gotten any new messages. Uh, yeah, okay. Let's confirm, man. Yeah, we're going to have Father Rahill on for multiple shows. And we want to make him a regular of ours for our morning radio. Want to make him a regular of ours for our morning radio? That would be tremendous. We'd love to do that. Love to do that. So yeah. So keep an eye out for that. We got some great shows planned, audience. The tremendous Lino Molina says, every Halloween and Christmas, I say Satanists, New Agers, some atheists promote this trash and they think they're smart. It's really low level. Sadly, I've run into friends of mine that have promoted it that are agnostic or atheists. And when I smash their worldview, they're like, blah, blah, blah. I mean, they just grumble and mumble. There's nothing here. All they can do is grumble and mumble. It's really bad. And yeah, you're right. You're going to find a lot of New Agers and astrotheology promoters. They're going to use Jordan Maxwell. They're going to say, look at all these parallels. They love, you know what they love, Lino Molina? One of the ones they love, and we have a whole Patreon series on it, refuting and debunking it. They love the Christianity copied pagan religions argument. They love that one, faithful. They love it, Lino Molina. They love it. They're going to say Horus, Mithras, Krishna, Dionysus, Osiris. They all had virgin births. They all had 12 disciples, crucifixions, 3-day deaths, and all of them had bodily resurrections. And you know what they're going to do? You know what they're going to do, Lino Molina? The way that Jordan Maxwell does? They're never going to produce a primary text that actually says these things. They're never going to do it because they can't. For them, what really is occurring? Well, wordplay is becoming history for them. That's all that matters for them, faithful. For them, wordplay is that's really all that matters. Wordplay is becoming history. That's really it. That's really all that matters. Symbols, they're detached from their context. You know, chronology doesn't matter. You know, similarity becomes causation. And over, you're going to find primary sources. They're often altogether missing. They're not even there. And they're going to say, well, there's forbidden knowledge, and this is this forbidden knowledge, okay? You know, here's this forbidden knowledge. The Catholic Church is concealing the real solar origins of Christianity. What? What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? What on planet Earth are you talking about, man? I don't know what to say. But they, a lot of them believe in Lino Molina, and they repeat this year in and year out. So it's worth going into this. Some people might think, William, I don't think this show is worth looking into. I think it's worth looking into and refuting. I do, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I hope you are. I hope this show is I hope you all find it worthwhile to do. Because some people fall into these snares, don't they? Lino Molina, thank you for the support, my friend. Some people fall into these snares, guys. I want to be clear. Some people fall into these snares. The goated Abel. I like that, man. You're forgetting the point that St. Paul wrote the KJV. And he walked around, Abel, he walked around with a leather skin Bible, dude. You forgot that one, man, right? He walked around with a leather skin Bible, man. You forgot that one, man. You forgot that one, man. I love it, man. I love it, brother. I love it, Abel. I love it, man. Because apparently, you know what you can do, according to these conspiracy theorists, Abel? Apparently, you can fact check the Greek, the best biblical manuscripts. You can fact check it all with the KJV, man. Fact check me, man, with a KJV. Fact check me, man. Oh, man. I don't even know what to say, man. Um, other than, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I love that, though, man. I love that. Abel, thank you for the support, my friend. I love you, man. But, brother, I hate to break it to you, man. I hate to break it to you, man. You know what's coming, brother. Yeah, man. You're my brother right now. I don't know how long it's going to last, brother, because you know that the championship is coming. Championship is coming home, man. It's coming home, brother. And I got a shirt in the closet. I have a shirt in the closet, and the shirt in the closet is you're gonna love it, man. Yeah, the shirt in the closet is uh, it says it's coming home. Soon you'll be an area to me. Oh, man. How about an Aryan? Not even in the church, man? Wow, man. That's pretty extreme, man. Look at this one, man. Guys Against Worse, man. I hope you guys don't mind that we're covering this today. But I want to tell you all, guys, don't worry. We might be covering this today. I'm taking any and all questions, guys. Don't think that look at the title of the show. Jordan Maxwell versus Historic Christianity. Debate me, ask me anything. It isn't just on this. Anything you have in your mind, maybe you're there and you're thinking, William, I want to ask about purgatory, papacy, indulgences. Look, we got a question in Montanus earlier. Any question you have on your mind will be tackling, faithful. I like to begin the show with a focused topic, but we're taking any and all of your questions, any and all of them. Maxwell says Sunday worship, forgive me, Sunday proves sun worship. Yeah, I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. He will explicitly say, and I'm going to quote him. I'm quoting him, guys. All these are first-hand quotes from him, and I've got them. I have all these notes. Anyone watching right now, if you want all these notes with the timestamps where he says this and shows on transcripts, if you all want them, let me know, and I'll get them to you. He will argue, this is why we worship Christ or Jesus on Sunday. So it's Sunday, and notice how he says Sunday, two different words. He'll then point to Easter sunrise, the Easter sunrise services, and he'll say, it is sun worship. Wake up. Wake up. It's sun worship, guys. And that comes directly, those are his words verbatim from his recorded astrotheology lectures, right? But according to the Bible and early church history, we don't have to guess why the early Christians were worshiping on Sunday. They told us, right? They flat out told us. Around AD 150, St. Justin the Martyr is describing Christian worship. On the day called Sunday, all who live in cities or in the country gather together to one place. Then St. Justin the Martyr will say why. Sunday commemorated creation, and above all, it was the day. What was the day of? It was the day Jesus Christ, our Savior, on the same day rose from the dead. That's in his first apology. None of this Sunday proves sun worship. That's pretty bad. Really, really bad. So Maxwell will tell you one thing. The Bible and the early Christians will tell you a completely other thing. Maxwell will say one thing. The Bible and the Christians will say a completely different thing. Completely different. Maxwell's discovery of Christian sun worship was an ancient pagan accusation. Now, here is one of the most embarrassing and devastating pieces of evidence against Maxwell's presentation. And we can find it in Tertullian. Around AD 197, Tertullian wrote, others believe that the sun is our God. Okay, we got to pause for a moment there. So this was, they were accusing Christians of this a long time ago, right? A long time ago. Pagans were accusing Christians of this a long time ago, right? And then Maxwell begins to attack the faith. Maxwell begins to, but this isn't anything new. And the charges have already been dealt with. For anyone thinking, well, this is new, what a genius Maxwell is. There's nothing new here, guys. I hate to break it to you. There's nothing new. There is nothing new here at all. Christians worship on Sunday. Christians pray facing the east. Christians use imagery of light. So maybe they worship the sun. Tertullian has a tremendous response. He says, right, some of us face east. We observe Sunday. But he also says, this has nothing to do with sun worship. We do this from a far different reason than sun worship. So these lunatic accusations of Maxwell, it's nothing new, guys. There's nothing new here. By the way, that is nothing new. So this is a terrible argument. So what is Maxwell doing? All he's doing, he's just really just repeating the same old garbage. He's resurrecting a pagan misunderstanding that Christianity publicly refuted. The early Christians publicly refuted it. St. Justin the Martyr laughed at this, guys. Tertullian laughed at it. St. Justin the Martyr laughed at it. Tertullian laughed at it. This was total lunacy. Total lunacy. Guys, are you ready for the next one? I don't know if you're ready for the next one, guys. Guys, are you ready for the next one? I don't know if you're ready for the next one, guys. I really don't know, guys. Hold on, guys. Who do we have in the audience? Who do we have? Who do we have here? We have the Puck Chucker. I want to see, we have the tremendous Done 6-4. My friend, thank you for being so kind, brother. Thank you for being so kind, my friend. Very, very kind of you. Thank you for gifting a membership. For gifting 2 Patristic Pillars memberships. Faithful, I want to tell you all something that a lot of you all do not know. From gifted memberships, we have had such immense turnout of people that have viewed our material, our members' material, our courses, people that have viewed our courses on purgatory when they've been gifted memberships, people that say, thank you so much for the gifted memberships. They'll leave messages. Your support not only helps our ministry survive, you help touch others as well. You touch their lives. Done 6-4, my friend. Thank you for your tremendous support, brother. And I want to highlight who got gifted those memberships. Very kind of you, my friend. Very, very kind. Who do we get? We got 11 Dartea. And we got Toward Orthodoxy. Well, we want Toward Orthodoxy most definitely to watch our videos. We do. And we want Toward Orthodoxy to definitely watch our videos and to come to the fullness. Yes, go watch the courses. Look at that. Lavin Dartea says thank you. I love it when people say thank you. I love it when people thank the person. And Faithful, I thank you all because we wouldn't be here able to do the material we do without your support. Wouldn't be happening without y'all's support, Faithful. Y'all with my texts and lingo, man. Done 6-4. Thank you so much, brother, for having 40.9-inch biceps, man. Thank you, brother. With that in mind, who's ready to fall off their chair laughing? Who's ready? Moses was the leader of a moon cult. I'm going to have to pause for a moment here, man. I'm going to have to pause for just one moment, man. I'm going to have to pause for one moment, man. Moses was the leader of a moon cult. Oh, no. Maxwell actually claims Moses was the leader of a moon cult. This one has got to be heard to be believed. At the LA Awake and Aware conference, Maxwell says Moses was a lunar deity. Then Moses was the leader of the moon cult. What was his evidence? He says that there are European images that depict Moses with horns, and he says because Moses was the leader of a of a lunar cult, the moon worshippers. He then says, and I'm quoting him: at one time, the Jews were worshippers of the moon, and at that period of time, we called the period of Moses. Um, who can tell me? Who can tell me where the horned Moses actually comes from? Do we have any people that love iconography? Do we have any people that love iconography that maybe know where the horned Moses come from? I don't know what to say. Done 6-4, my friend. Thank you again, brother. What a legend you are, man. Who got gifted that one, man? Faithful, please say thank you whenever you are gifted a membership. Who got gifted that one? Let me see. It was Right Wing Nuck. Very cool, man. Very, very cool, man. Very, very kind to you, Faithful. And your gifted memberships, Faithful, go a very long way. I want to tell you right now, your gifted memberships go a very long way. Dun64, thank you. You have 42-inch biceps, brother. You rock, my friend. Um, does anyone know where it comes from? I forgot the exact passage in the Bible. It became famous imagery, and it describes Moses. The image portrays Moses descending Sinai after encountering God. And the reason it puts it that way is his face is glorified. He has a glorified face, but it has nothing to do with like kind of monster horns or anything like that. Has nothing to do with it, man. Has absolutely nothing to do with that, man. So I mean, this is wild. So Maxwell saying that Moses represents moon worship based upon later images is wild. And by the way, the one who made this image was Michelangelo, right? And the reason Michelangelo made that image was because of the history of translating that Exodus text. It is late artwork. It's late artwork. How can you be superimposing later artwork onto an ancient text and then saying, well, that's why he was portrayed that way, because he was the leader of a moon cult? Guys, this is lunacy. Total lunacy. Mike Q922. Thank you for your support, my friend. He says, unfortunately, my atheist friend thinks Jesus' life was copied from pagan deities. Got to pray for him to come out that way of thought. Brother, I've done a whole, I don't know if you are on our Patreon, but I've done a whole series refuting the pagan deity arguments. But I'll do you an even greater favor, my friend. Mike, I want to thank you for your support, first and foremost. We wouldn't be able to do what we're doing here without support like yours, my friend. But I do want to tell you, first and foremost, Mike, have him call in and join me. Have him call in and join me, and we can go over whether or not our Lord's life was copied from pagan deities. I've done radio shows on this. I've done debates on this. Believe it or not, I've debated it. I would love to dialogue with your friend. And I'd love to direct him to a debate that I had on Pints for the Aquinas with one of the biggest proponents of that argument. And Mike, I think it's a horrible argument. I think it's a really, really bad one. A really bad one. And I would love to dialogue with him. You let him know, you tell him, hey, there is a Catholic apologist who's debated against one of the biggest proponents of this. Against one of the biggest proponents. And he's willing to dialogue with you. And he's willing to dialogue with you. I'd love to, Mike. You let me know, Mike. Yes, 106-395. Thank you for being a goated member, and thank you for the support. He says, I was gifted Patreon. Thank you, St. Francis Baby Toe. I attended my first Mass in 50 years. It was a joy. My first confession in 50 years this Saturday, hopefully. Wow. Wow. My goodness, that really does. That's so touching to hear, man. So touching. Are you able to tell me what it was on Patreon that you saw that moved you? Was it maybe the series on the Mass, Holy Eucharist, Purgatory, Mary series? What was it? Uh, that is so touching. ES 106395. That really does touch me here because Saint Francis Baby Toe is I like to call him a living mystic. I like to call that guy a living mystic, man. I like to call that guy a living mystic, man. Beautiful, beautiful testimony. What beautiful testimony, man. Wonderful, wonderful. God bless you, my friend. And thank you for your support, brother. Really touching, man. Very touching. Lena Molina! But William, this is Protestant research. Man, this is you know what I very often catch myself doing? I got to be careful with my language, man. Uh, it's freaking trash, but I got to be careful with my language, man. Uh, because if my daughter hears me slipping up, she's going to say, Dad, you know better. Or whenever I get out of, guys, let me tell you one thing. If I get out of Mass and I get out of Mass and, if I show any kind of, anger on the road or any kind of, being, if I try to open up the butcher shop, the butcher house when I'm on the road and I get mad, she'll remind me, say, Dad, you just took Jesus. You better get your act together. So I'll get my act together, man. I'll get my act together, man. Our kids better make us better. Better make us better people. It's Protestant research. It's pretty bad, man. And look at what else he says, Lena Molina. Look at this one, man. Maxwell really does say Easter is Ishtar. Yes, he really does say that. Lena Molina, he really does. Now, as I said earlier, I promised. Where's the brother? Where's the goated hater, Rosarium? I told you guys I was coming with receipts, didn't I? And I got them. In his Why Your Church Doesn't Want You to Know About Astrotheology, at the 1 minute, 8 minute mark to around the 1 minute, 10 minute mark, and I'm going to phrase him, I'm going to quote him, forgive me. He says about Easter, it is sun worship. Wake up! It is sun worship. Then he says Easter is Esther or Ishtar. He uses that to argue that Easter is the survival of an ancient solar religion. But what is the problem? Can you all tell me? Can you all tell me the problem here? Can anyone tell me the problem? I'm going to tell you why this is wrong in a moment. This is what is called a false etymology fallacy. What does the false etymology fallacy mean? Well, ancient Greek Christians didn't call the resurrection feast Easter. They didn't call it that. What did they call it? Anyone, what did they call it? Can anyone tell me? Ancient Greek Christians, ancient Greek Catholics didn't call the resurrection feast Easter. Last I checked, St. John Chrysostom wasn't walking around with the King James Bible, right? Last I checked, St. John Damascene wasn't walking around with a leather skin King James Bible, right? Last I checked, St. Basil, the Cappadocians weren't walking around saying jokes in English, right? What did the ancient Greek Christians call it? They didn't call it Easter. There you go. They called it Pascha. There you go. That is right. They called it Pascha. You got it right there without a shadow of a doubt. There it is. Pascha. From the Greek, Pascha. Latin Christians called it Pascha. Right. It comes to the Jewish Passover tradition, right? Pesach. The connection's already in the New Testament, right? Where do we find it? Where can we find it? 1 Corinthians 5:7. St. Paul writes, Christ, our paschal lamb, has been sacrificed. And we can also find it in the second century paschal controversy. But last I checked, none of these were arguments about Ishtar, right? None of them. In fact, if you want to play this word etymology game, the English Germanic word Easter, there's no possible way that it can explain the origin of a Catholic feast that was centuries before. Centuries before you and me were speaking English. Centuries, right? Centuries before me and you were speaking English. So these are horrible arguments, guys. They're low level. I want to remind you one more time, guys, these are not high level arguments. They're really bad. And is there any world in which Maxwell's argument would work? His argument would work only if ancient Greek and Latin Catholics somehow borrowed their feast from an English word that didn't even exist. How do you even figure it out? How do you even... I've tried, guys, before doing the slides to steel man this argument, to try to come up with an elite tier argument, to try to find some kind of intellect in this, and I couldn't find anything at all. At all. At all. It's just wild, man. It's just wild. Completely wild. Yeah. I got you. Okay. hmm Yeah, I agree. So, yeah, I gotta say, these are wild arguments, man. These are just wild. They're terrible arguments, guys. They're horrible, man. Some of the worst. Here's another one, man. Here's another embarrassing one. Maxwell claims Krishna was crucified and became the model for Jesus. I don't know what to say, man. This is another bad one, man. This is another really bad one. I mean, there's bad ones all the way around, man. Yeah, this is another embarrassing one, guys. This is another one that I can say is one of the most embarrassing ever. I don't think I heard words. Mind forged, yeah. That's a good point, right? About the languages, right? That's a good point, right? Elena, check this out, Elena. I know our near and dear friend is not here right now, or maybe he is here. But look at the beauty of this. A beautiful praise report earlier, and hopefully my friend can see it later, from somebody that was gifted a Patreon. Thank you, St. Francis Baby Toe. I attended my first Mass in 50 years, my first confession in 50 years this Saturday, hopefully. The amount of lives that my friend has touched is wonderful. It's very touching. Very, very touching. Very, very touching. All right. Yeah. So Maxwell says Krishna was crucified. Yeah, there you go, Georges. There you go. Oh my. Misal, how you doing, brother? There you go, man. Yeah, it's pretty bad, right? Maxwell claims Krishna was crucified and became the model for Jesus. Yeah, this is bad. This is really bad. Yeah, this is pretty bad. Now, Maxwell, this is good, because right now here is where we get a testable claim. In understanding Jesus around the 14-minute, 24-second mark, all the way to the 17-minute, 20-second mark, Maxwell says the Hindu god Krishna was one of the ancient models used for Jesus. And then he says Krishna was crucified about 3000 BC. And then Maxwell says the whole idea of putting a human on the cross comes from Krishna. You can't make this up, guys. And then finally, he says Krishna looks an awful lot like Christ because Christ, Christos, Christ, Krishna, it is all the same story. And I'm quoting him. I am literally quoting him, guys. I am literally quoting him. Literally quoting him. Isn't this wild? Isn't this wild? This is maniacal. This is completely maniacal, guys. Total lunacy. Oops, what did I do there? Oops, hold on, guys. One thing. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, there we go. There we go. So this is another one. Let's debunk this one. Let's blow this one out of the water, faithful. And let me put the link in case we get some takers, because we still have we have almost an hour left. In case we get anybody that does want to dialogue or debate, let me put the link. Any challengers, we'll take challengers backstage right now. Any challengers, the link is, maybe you want to defend this, or maybe you are a Protestant or a Muslim and you want to challenge the Christian faith. The link has been pinned, audience. And you all, any and all questions you have, we're taking as well. It doesn't have to be about Jordan Maxwell. It can be anything you have on your mind. And we'll take that one as a, I can give you an idea of where they come from. Wild imaginations. Yeah. Yeah. And they're really ultimately they're lunacy. They're just total lunacy, Brother AB. That's what they are, man. Brother AB, thank you for the support, legend. God bless you, my friend. They're bad. I'm going to give you some thoughts on where I think they come from, but they're bad. They're really bad arguments, man. They are some of the lowest, man. Some of the very lowest. So I don't get where people come up with these silly conspiracies. You know, if we stop and think about the wild claims, and they are wild, associated with Jordan Maxwell and similar conspiracy theory teachers, you know, what do they come from? You know, they generally come from, I'll tell you what they come from, because I've looked very deep into this, faithful. And not that I think this is a good reason at all. I think it's crazy. A lot of them come from 19th century comparative religion speculation, complete lunacy, man, where you have writers that are they're trying to reduce Christianity, Judaism, Egyptian religion, Hinduism, astrology. They're trying to reduce it to kind of one ancient solar religion is what they're trying to do. That's what they're trying to do. So it comes a lot from that. Very low IQ, very low level. Where else do we get it from? Occultism, believe it or not. We get it from occultism, believe it or not. Occultism is another place we get it from. And in general, modern conspiracy culture, man. You know, in general, we get it from modern conspiracy culture. What Jordan Maxwell did, Brother AB, is he took these older ideas, he packaged them around secret societies, which a lot of people do today. A lot of people do today. Around secret societies, around symbols, around religion, and all kinds of things, man. It really, I got to be honest with you guys, it's nothing new. I got to be honest, this is nothing new, guys. Um, this has been happening for a while. This is nothing new. This kind of lunacy's been going on for a minute. It has. So to really be honest about it, guys, and by the way, for people that come backstage, on the right hand side where it says private chat, what is your faith? What is your question, faithful? What is your faith and what is your question is what I'd like to hear. So what did so to be clear, Maxwell didn't originate most of this material. We've got to be very clear. What did Maxwell do? Well, he inherited a large body of what already existed: occultist, mythicist garbage, and he just spread his own. He added his own spin to it. Then he went about trying to connect symbols and words. Just total lunacy, guys. And believe it or not, today there are people that are New Testament scholars that are mythicists. Now, I don't say that they're taken seriously, nor do they make the arguments Maxwell makes. Maxwell's are gutter. They're low level. They're some of the worst you're ever going to encounter. We're not done looking at Maxwell. We're not done. We're not done, man. Audience, how y'all doing? Let me pause and give you all an enormous shout out. Faithful, how y'all doing tonight, man? Mindforge says, muy extraño, argumentos religiosos peor que Isla. Sí, estoy de acuerdo. Pues en realidad los dos tienen argumentos horribles. I think I heard Madame Blavatsky was spreading this kind of stuff in the 19th century. I think you're right. I think you're right from what I've looked at. I think you're right from what I've looked at. Yeah. From what I've looked at and what I recall, yeah, I think you're right. Look at this. Guys, the arguments get worse and worse and more embarrassing and more embarrassing. They get worse, guys. I don't even know what to tell you. They get worse. Yes. They get embarrassingly bad. Yeah, this definitely has the potential for a comedy show. I'm with you there, Avia. I'm with you there. Ultimately, it's a horror show, though, right? Ultimately, this is sad, guys. This is sad. This one here is bad, guys. I don't even know what to say. There was no human Jesus in the cross until after Constantinople. Yeah. This is probably, I don't know. This is maybe one of the dumbest ones. But guys, I promised you I was coming with the receipts. In the lecture called Understanding Jesus, Maxwell says, before the Council of Constantinople, there was no human or Jesus man hanging on a cross in Christianity. Nowhere. Nowhere. This is an actual lecture of his, guys. He then says, it was only after the Roman Council of Constantinople, 381, by the way, guys. By the way, that council was from 381, guys. It was only after the Roman Council of Constantinople, 381, that it was decided by the church fathers they needed to put a human on the cross. Yes, that's what he says. And then Maxwell says that the figure was based upon Apollonius of Tyana. Apollonius of Tyana. Wow. That's now we're getting into the we're getting downright I mean, if it wasn't stupid earlier, it's stupid. It's really stupid now. If it wasn't stupid earlier, it's pretty stupid now, isn't it? This one's pretty wrong. It's embarrassingly wrong. So, you don't even need it you don't even need to go to Nicaea. Go way earlier. Go directly to the ancient sources. St. Paul is writing around, what is it, 8050? St. Paul is writing around 8050, and he says we preach Christ crucified. 1 Corinthians 1:23. In Galatians 3:1, it says Jesus Christ was publicly portrayed as crucified. Then what does St. Ignatius of Antioch say? Writing around 107 AD, he says Jesus was truly crucified. He says Jesus was truly crucified. St. Justin the Martyr, writing around AD 150, over and over discusses Christ's crucifixion. Over and over. Tertullian does the same around 200. In fact, as we have there on the screen, the famous Alexamenos graffito, generally dated centuries before or around the period preceding Constantinople, is mocking a Christian. Why? Why is there mocking going on? Because the Christians worship a crucified man. Yes, by the way, even the enemies of the faith mock the Christians because they worship who they thought to be a crucified criminal, one who died as a criminal, so they would get mocked. But the famous graffiti, which is ancient and is dated centuries before, it is mocking the Christians for worshiping a crucified figure. So what is Maxwell doing? Yet again, conflating the history of particular, pay attention audience, he's conflating the history of particular crucifix iconography with belief in the actual historical crucifixion itself. Those are entirely different questions, faithful. Entirely different. Because Christians could avoid, even though they didn't, they could have avoided crucifix imagery. They could have done that, which they didn't do so. All the while, they could have been preaching Christ crucified, but there's no example that they avoided this kind of representation. There's none. So yet again, more garbage. By the way, we've had people back here, audience, or people that have come back here. What is your faith and what is your question? Guys and gals, we can't bring you up unless you tell me what is your faith and your question, faithful. It's pretty bad, right, guys? Pretty bad, man. Pretty bad. Oh, yeah. These are pretty bad, guys. Faithful, we've got about 22 more minutes. And then we've got to skedaddle on over to I almost said Christology. On over to Mariology, guys. I want to give you a sneak peek. What do we have coming up, man? Tonight at 9 p.m. Central Time. Check us out on patreon.com if you have not yet, faithful. If you haven't checked us out yet, check us out on patreon.com, faithful. Check it out. This is what we got coming tonight, man. Coming your way, man. Here it is. Dogmatics on Mariology, the brothers and sisters of Jesus, Mary as perpetual virgin. So that's what we're going to be looking at. That's what we're going to be diving into tonight. That's right, man. Dogmatics and Mariology, the brothers and sisters of Jesus, Mary as perpetual virgin. So we're going to look at, with Father Coppus, in about half an hour, we're going to be looking at Mother Mary as perpetual virgin. All of those texts, all the ones where the brothers are listed, Mark chapter 6, where the brothers are mentioned, the sisters as well in the Gospel of St. Mark. We'll look at the Gospel of St. Mark, St. Matthew, and others, and we're going to see, okay, how are these not children of Mary? That'll be in about half an hour. Yeah, guys, it's pretty embarrassing, right? The Jordan Maxwell stuff. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. It's bad, right, guys? It is. I don't know what to say, guys. What do you all think, faithful? What do you all think? What do you all think, guys? Pretty terrible, right? Pretty low level, right? Yeah, I don't have anything positive to say. It's bad, man. I feel, I feel, I feel for people that are deceived by this stuff. I feel for people that are deceived. It causes my heart to break, guys. It does. Yep. It causes my heart to break. It really does. And yeah, it isn't good at all. So Maxwell's method is exposed, brutally exposed. You have the Christ Krishna, Sun, Sunson, and Easter Ishtar. Now, if we put the evidence together, it's devastating. Listen to Maxwell's own method in his own words. Look and listen to his own method. Who is Jesus? He is a metaphor for the sun. What is Christianity? It is sun worship, he says, based on astrology. Sun worship based on astrology. The 12? The 12 are the 12 signs of the zodiac. Isn't that wild? The 12 are the 12 signs of the zodiac. And Sunday, sun worship. Yeah, Easter, Esther or Ishtar. Moses, well, Moses was a lunar deity. Krishna, well, Krishna was crucified about 3000 BC. The historical Jesus, well, we're not talking about an actual man who lived. What can we say about all of these statements, faithful? What can we ultimately say? I want to tell you guys, this is what we can say. These are, these statements are not caricatures that are invented by any kind of Catholic apologist or even Protestant apologist. Although Protestants, sometimes they like to adopt this garbage, right? This is found in Maxwell's recorded presentations. And now look at the recurring technique. Sun sounds like sun, S-U-N. S-O-N sounds like sun, S-U-N. So therefore, Jesus is the sun. Christ sounds vaguely like Krishna. Therefore, Krishna became Christ. Easter sounds vaguely like Ishtar. Therefore, Easter derives from Ishtar. The 12 apostles and the 12 zodiac signs, therefore the apostles are really zodiac signs. Moses is depicted with horns, and therefore Moses worshiped the moon. Does any of this really follow? Does any of this really follow? This is not intellectual comparative religion technique. It is not conducted with historical critical method. It's not. It is an embarrassingly bad low tier phonetic association, visual association, numerical association, all of it masquerading as historical genealogy. It's embarrassing, guys. It's really embarrassing. And most devastating, here's what really does blow Maxwell's horrible arguments out of the water. We have primary sources that allow us to put this to the test. We have them. And as we round off the show, faithful, as we round it off, I want to remind you all, what are the devastating realities? We have primary sources. They allow us to test them. St. Justin will tell us why Christians worship on Sunday. Tertullian explicitly rejects sun worship. St. Ignatius, he tells us Christ really did truly suffer under Pontius Pilate. St. Paul preaches Christ crucified centuries before Constantinople. Constantinople's 381, guys. It's 381. It's 381. This is bad. This is really low level. I can't even begin to tell you guys how low level and how bad this is. It's really bad. It's terrible. These are bad. The man, the myth, the Aryan hunter. Abel, how you doing, brother? Thank you for the support, brother. God bless you, my friend. Let me put heart in that super chat first, and then let me dive into it. And we're taking audience. There's still some time before we're done. We still have some time. We're taking any and all questions you have. Any and all questions you have. Any and all questions you have. The brother Abel asks, in the end, do you think all these false religions like to steal truths from Christianity and twist it? Yeah, I do. Yeah. And to that point, Abel, that is a particular issue. When I debated Dr. Price on Pints with Aquinas, they love to bring up St. Justin the Martyr and they love to attack him. They love to bring him up and they love to attack him. They will bring up St. Justin the Martyr and they will say, well, look, Justin the Martyr is admitting that Christianity copied from the pagan religions. No, he isn't. He's arguing quite the opposite. He's saying they're the ones that ripped off. They're the ones that ripped off. It is quite the opposite. They're the ones that ripped off, is what he's saying. These are pretty bad. These are awful arguments. And they're low level. They really are. Why on earth people use them? Why on earth people use them? I don't know what to say. You know, other than to, you know what I also think, Abel? You know what I also think, brother? I think people, you know, I think Jordan Maxwell was a deceiver. I think he really did try and deceive. You know, I think he meaningly, willingly tried to mislead people. Because, you know, unless Abel, we have two options, brother. People like Jordan Maxwell are either meaningfully, and willingly trying to mislead people, or they're incredibly that dumb. It is also possible Jordan Maxwell is incredibly that dumb. I wouldn't doubt it. Because some of his arguments were incredibly low level, dumb as can be. Some were dumb as can be. But we're not dealing with intellectual Christianity. We're not dealing with intellectual arguments against Christianity. And I want to warn you guys. I want to tell you guys, a lot of you all don't realize this. A lot of you all don't realize this. Let me tell you. Because a lot of you all don't know. But let me enlighten you. A lot of Protestants love to copy and rip off Jordan Maxwell's arguments. A lot of them love to rip them off. Be ready and learn how to refute them. You have these videos. Go back, look at these videos, learn the arguments, learn how I unravel them, learn how I untangle them, looking at the Greek, looking at the Latin whenever it's relevant to the dialogue. Go back and look, and you will see how to untangle all of these very bad arguments. They're atrocious, guys. They're very low level. I don't have anything good to say about them at all. Yep. And yes, guys, I will not be using my clickety-clack keyboard when we are doing Mariology right now. Faithful, we're going to wrap it up in a few minutes. We still have a few minutes, so last call for questions, and then we're heading on over, we're skedaddling on over to dogmatics on Mariology, guys. Look at what we got coming, man. We have this coming up right now. Oops, not that. No, not that, man. There you go, man. Dogmatics on Mariology. The brothers and sisters of Jesus, Mother Mary as perpetual virgin. Well, how can she be perpetual virgin with all the passages that talk about brothers and sisters? How can she be perpetual virgin? Are you Catholics reading into things again? What are you Catholics doing? Well, we're going to unveil the stuff. We're going to look in. We're going to dive in, and we'll do that. And who knows? Maybe we'll do a later. Although I don't know. Maybe we'll do a later member stream for those that are channel members. Maybe we'll do a later channel member stream. We do an AMA since we got to close the doors to the dojo early in this one, faithful. We got to close the doors. I'm coming up, he says. Okay. All right, man. Oh, backstage, we're already wrapping up, brother. We're already wrapping up, brother. I mean, you can send a question in right before it ends, but I can't bring you up yet, brother. We're wrapping up in 5 minutes. We're wrapping up in 5 minutes, man. And you should have come up earlier, man. You should have come up earlier, brother. You should have come up earlier, hater. Yeah, do so. I'll wait. I will wait. We got about 7-8 minutes. And then we got to wrap it up, man. We got to wrap it up. Okay. There we go, man. And let me drop the link for you guys. Let me drop the link for you all. Okay. Let me drop the link so people know where to go right now. All right, here we go. We will see you guys there in a moment. In a moment. Okay, the brother asked, backstage, he asked me, didn't Mary doubt Jesus thinking he went mad? No, there is no example that she did at all. There's no example that she did. By the way, brother, you can join. I just dropped the link right there in the chat. Join us on the stream. We're about to go live. Dogmatics on Mariology Faithful. We're going to wrap it up now because I want to play the outro, and then we're heading on over there. Audience, I'll see you guys over there in just a few moments, my friends. Yeah, no, there's no such text at all, brother, that says that. I don't know. A Protestant might have told you that, but the Bible doesn't have any such text at all. Faithful, see you all over there in just a moment. You guys are not good. You're tremendous and you're amazing. See you, faithful, in a moment. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Brother, here is the link. Join us. Join us. Join us. God bless you, faithful. See you in a moment. In a moment.
Ecclesia viventis Dei, columna et firmamentum, veritatis fundamentum, stat in aeternum.
Columna et